Okay, well, my name is Kasandra Johnson. I am 29 years old. I am a single mother of one beautiful, talented young man. His name is Raphael Stewart. He's 8. Um, a lot, it's a lot that made me write the book. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to say too much, but basically, just it was healing for me. It was something that I needed to express to move on to the next level spiritually and mentally in my life. Well, I was ready, right? I was super ready to stop holding myself hostage. I felt like it was time that I released a lot of, trauma that I've gone through in my childhood. And the only way to do that is to be open and honest. And in my circumstances, it was really raw and uncut, but it was fortunate for me. It was very uplifting and very I really held a lot in, so it was a relief, to get it all out and put it in the context of my true feelings. um it wasn't really difficult because I was holding it back so much. It was more difficult holding it in. I was at a point in my life where I was like stressed about all of these things that had happened, and I was like, this has really been an issue for me, moving forward in my adulthood, in my womanhood, and my spirituality. So it wasn't really difficult. It was really relieving for me. Yeah, I had to forgive. Forgiving was like the number one thing I had to do. I definitely been through a lot of hardship, but throughout every experience I had to forgive, and that was my way of finding a way to move on. Is say, yeah, this wasn't right. It didn't happen, but I forgive myself first of all, and I forgive the people that hurt me. Um, and also it gave me a lot of strength because from a young age I knew that I was powerful. I knew that I had this resilience about me that kept me to keep pushing. Yes, so ever since I was younger, I've always been in tune with music. It's just something that was embedded in my DNA. I feel from my ancestors from Africa. These was thousands of years ago, and it was inevitable for me to find it to be very therapeutic through music. It's just something that I couldn't hide from. I couldn't get rid of. It was something that once I heard music and I started writing, it just was so relieving to me. It was like therapeutic in so many ways. And I learned that I had a gift to write music and also to love music and have it be an outlet for me to, broadcast my talent, whether that was personal or publicly. It really fulfilled my heart through music. And also understanding like my background, because during this process I was healing myself and I wanted to understand who I was.
Yeah.
So it was a process. I actually did my ancestry DNA, and I wanted to go back to the tribes that I was initially from, and it helped me learn a lot about myself, my culture, my history,
Mm-hmm.
and that the beat of the drum is why I have so much enthusiasm around music. In a lot of ways, but more so importantly, I feel that if they reflect, on their childhood and understand that coming from a place where I came from, my parents only did the best that they could with the tools that they had.
Mm-hmm.
They tried the best that they could due to addiction, due to mental health issues, due to, dysfunction,
Yeah.
and um once you understand that you can't use that as an excuse for your life, you have to be the best you could be. And no matter what your mama was, your daddy was, your granny was, you have to break that cycle if you want to. And that's exactly what I've been doing, and just identifying that cycle, the bad things about the cycle, how I can reflect and not make the same mistakes. Um, I want to encourage others to be truthful to themselves. Writing this book, it was a lot of things that will probably make somebody feel uncomfortable in some ways. But for me, it was like, no, this is my truth. I'm so comfortable talking about anything that has happened, good or bad, experiences in my life. And I find that the most vulnerable moments for me was the most strongest moments for me, and I want to, teach others that it's okay to be hurt, as long as you get up and shake it off, and create that into power, into productivity, into, caring and pushing through life, educating yourself to be better. I hope they take away, it's not where you come from, it's where you're going and where you headed in life and what you want. To heal yourself, whatever that looks like, whether it's having a conversation, whether it's talking to a therapist, whether it's furthering your education, whether it's, just helping people. I want them to identify, how do they heal themselves and move forward, and also create a better example for the next generation. That, as a black woman in the community I grew up in, it was a lot, right? But it doesn't determine your future. And I would hope that people take from these experiences to try to navigate, what works for them. And also, I really want them to understand my truth and use it to understand their own truth, because it was a lot. It was a lot I had to unpack. And it's easy for somebody to just brush it under the rug and, act like it never happened. But they have to face those issues one day, and it comes out, whether it's dealing with your child or dealing with experiences or in your natural behavior, it comes out, regardless. And for me, I wanted to be a better person. So this was one of the ways that, I had got unloaded the baggage and move forward in my life. And I want people to know that you can move forward. You don't have to sit and, hinder yourself because of those traumatic events that has happened to you. You could flourish and be great, and you could be a testimony to others, to encourage others to thrive. Well, it was my life. I was born and raised in Oakland, California. Like most inner cities that a lot of people live in, you have the projects, and you have hoods, and you have places that were designed to to set you up for failure, to set the community up for failure. And it's institutional oppression, and I have faced interpersonal oppression, but I did not internalize it. I did not say, based off of where I'm at, the dynamics of my environment turn me into this or turn me into that. I seen it and I was like, I don't want to be this. This is not my life. I want to be better than this. And even though I was faced with a lot of, a lot of issues and a lot of other people, telling me that I'm not good enough, telling me this, telling me that, just kind of, corrupting my mind or trying to corrupt my mind. I knew in my heart, in my spirit, that I am a great person. and I'm really strong. And
Yeah.
so I didn't let that identify me as just, I beat the odds. I didn't let that identify me as another statistic or another ghetto black girl, another girl that don't have nothing to show for, nothing to live for. I always knew that I was special and that I had a gift, and my environment around me, it wasn't what I wanted. It's where I came from, but I want more for myself and for my people. Um, I really feel like because I was at a healing place in my life, I was ready to just get it out. I wouldn't say it was difficult, but it was a lot of reflecting. So I want people to understand I had to relive these moments. I had to relive all of this hardship that I've been through, all of this trauma that I've been through, and I had to sit in that and actually feel that to write it down and for it to be as raw as I could. And so while writing this book, I was going through what you call a spiritual awakening. I was very emotional. My very emotional. Like my feelings were very sensitive. I isolated myself as much as possible because I knew that I was going through something, and I just asked the people that were around me, which is my immediate family, just to respect what I'm going through because nothing like this never happened to me ever. And when I decided to write the book, it was just this spiritual feeling that I had in my body, and it took over me, and I had a knot in my stomach, and it was just a feeling that I never experienced. And I just asked God, like, well, what is it? What is it? And he was like, it's time for you to get it out. Like, you need to write a book.
Yeah.
And I decided that I was going to tell my family, like, look, I'm going to write this book, and I know that a lot has went on in this family that it may make people feel uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, this is my truth, and this is what I need to heal myself, and not only to heal myself but also connect with others, and create an outlet for them to feel encouraged enough to tell their story as well. I really hope, because I know that. So I want everybody to understand that I wrote this book for me first, right? It was healing for me.
Yeah.
However, I felt the need to express it to the world because it was so impactful to my spirit and to my mentality that I needed I needed to get it out. I just feel like it was necessary. And one of the reasons why I feel like it's a call to action is because I want others to know that I acted on my feelings, and by doing so, I put it all out there. And I want them to have conversations that lead to them having clarity for themselves, healing themselves, whatever that looks like. I have had conversations with my mom, with my dad, with cousins
Friends.
and aunties, friends, ex-friends, even the uncomfortable conversations that people don't want to have. Hey, look, you hurt me in this moment. I felt like this, and it made me feel like this as a person, and I know I'm better than that. I'm sorry that you went through what you was going through, but I'm telling you how it affected me in those moments. And if I wasn't mentally strong enough, I would have probably been on drugs, been a prostitute, just giving up on life. But because I knew that I was strong enough to handle it, I want to encourage others that they're strong enough too. I definitely do. Right now, I just really want to get my story out. It was this. I want this to be a series. Like I want it to be on Netflix somewhere that it could lead up to, because it was just literally from when I was 0 to 16 years old. So it's so much more that I have to put out there. But I'm just waiting on the time. It takes a lot of time actually to
Mm-hmm.
to reflect on these things. And I'm giving myself some grace by allowing me to just sink in it, live in it, get good feedback, and I will write another book. However, far as genres goes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really all about real stories. I'm about truthful stories that can enlighten others. So that's what where I am focused on. I want my book to be eventually like a screenplay, or a movie
Yeah.
series, something like that. So that's what I'm headed towards, so people could actually visualize, and feel the intensity of what has happened and what I endured. I didn't know it was the right time. God
Oh,
told me it was the right time. And that's
yes.
that's the beautiful part about all of this is like when you have a calling, you cannot avoid it. You have to, you know, do the task that was given to you. And so I never knew I would be an author. I never knew that I would publish a book. I never
Mm-hmm.
knew it. It's just something that I found that I had a great talent, and God allowed me to keep moving forward and put it out. It impacted it so much. Like, I mean, I was already healing myself and
Mm-hmm.
already working on myself,
Mm-hmm.
but going through this process of actually putting out a book, I have seeked a psychiatrist, so I talk to a therapist every week, um, because it's a lot of it's a lot of backlash. However, you're supposed to expect that being an author and telling your truth, but I have definitely experienced a lot of healing, like, and it makes me understand people way more, and it also allows me to say how I feel without being so aggressive and like, you hurt me, I want to fight. I don't It's not no need for that. It's You could tell your truth and say how you feel without all of that. So it allowed me to just be way more humble and understand people, have empathy for people that you wouldn't even think have been through anything, because you never know why people act the way they do or what they've been exposed to. And
Mm-hmm.
so it just allowed me to really be humble in this process and really be empathetic to people needs and feelings, but however also get my point across and how I feel too, because I was holding a lot in as a young child, and that's why I was fighting all the time. I was angry and aggressive. And so I came such a long way from that disobedient young girl to, a young lady that's matured in so many ways. I feel amazing. Like, this is the person that, I'm yearning to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm understanding my purpose in life. I'm understanding how to be a better woman, a better mother, a better person overall. It's a
Yeah.
great feeling. And I also have a gift to like identify certain things. As soon as somebody come in the room and start talking, and I can identify, if they good, if they bad. I don't. This is if it's somebody I can learn from. If it's somebody that I need to stay away from. So it's definitely a gift that I have because I've been so observant, in my childhood, and I know right from wrong, and I've seen so much coming up. So yeah. Well, at a young age, I started writing. So I already knew that I love to write music, poems,
Yeah.
just my feelings. I love to write. However, I didn't know that I had a gift until, I started writing music and started working on this book. And so, um, I guess what motivated me was my passion to express my feelings. And what I mean by that is, like, as a child, I used to just be in my room listening to instrumentals, writing music, singing to myself, rapping to myself. And so it definitely, shaped me up into being an amazing storyteller. And my mom, she actually used to write she used to write a lot of poetry, and she's a singer. So back to going to my ancestors, and it's in my DNA. You can't hide something that you have a passion in, or that you're really creative in. So a lot. And then also just, I guess, the motivation to express myself to others and allow an outlet for people to feel heard as well. Because I put my truth out there, I feel like it will make other people have courage to say, you know what, I could relate to that. I could connect to that. That happened to me, or I've been through that too. Why don't I write a book? Why don't I write a song? Why don't I, show my creativity through anything that they have a passion in? And so, to answer your question, I feel like a lot has inspired me, but it's just my God-given talent, honestly. It just sparked, and just having that confidence in myself to do so. What keeps me inspired? Honestly, being a mother. I want to show my son that you could still live your dreams and set goals and be all you could be, no matter what the odds are against you. He gives me so much strength to just keep moving on, keep pushing. He deserves everything. And so it's not an excuse, you know, if you're in a messed up situation, or, you know, if people didn't ask to be here. So I look at that, and be like, I'm gonna keep pushing for you. Definitely. He's my number one inspiration, is to be the best mom, but also show him that just because I'm your mom, my life isn't over. My dreams are not over. You still could be all that you want to be. And setting that example, I know he's going to be a great young man, because, he's very talented, and I'm showing him the full experiences of living your dreams out, and, taking your talent to the next level by just being yourself and not being afraid to be yourself. Just come out and build your confidence up. And he know I love him so much, and I support him so much, and support goes a long way, especially if you install that in a kid. They're going to be so powerful with understanding who they are at a young age. Yeah, so I did some research, and Mars Anderson had reached out to me. Shout out to Mars.
Oh,
Yeah, shout
Mars.
out to Mars.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Mars Anderson.
yeah. She reached out to me, and she just really, like, she told me like she could really help me. I had issues with promoting and marketing myself. It's just not really what I'm good at, and she was just breaking everything down to me
Mhm.
about how she could really, really help and push, and you know get get others to help me with understanding my book and where I'm coming from and why I wrote the book. And I just really appreciate her, because she's been so patient, and she's done so much to really help me put my book out there. And it's not even a book, it's actually putting just me, my life,
Mhm.
because it's more than a book. This memoir was something very, very sacred to me, and it really meant a lot for me to get it out, to important people that can get it on the outlet that I feel that it needs to get out on. So I really appreciate her. If you guys need some help, Mars is the person. She will take you to the next level, and I really appreciate her for doing that. So Bookmark Alliance, I
Mhm.
know this is gonna be posted, but that is, if you guys need any help promoting yourself and your book, that's the place to go, is Bookmark Alliance. It's helped in a lot of ways. Throughout the time, I have been on podcasts. She have put in Curie letters. I've explained the plan that I wanted. She have reached out to Barnes and Nobles.
Ah,
I mean, she have done everything. My book was posted in a it was I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it right now. I don't know why I'm
it's
getting
okay.
blank. But she went to Mexico
Mhm.
at a book. It was a book exhibition, and my book was posted in a book exhibition, and I really thank her for that. Just taking the time that I couldn't do because I'm a single mom working on a lot of things. I'm still healing myself, trying to get my housing together, trying to get promoted at work, trying to be the best mom I could, trying to take time off for myself and also promote this book myself. And so that was like the best. She really came through. That's what I'm saying. She really came through, knowing everything that I was going through and understanding my dream and my vision. And I really appreciate her taking the time out to make those, the reach out. I couldn't go to Mexico, I couldn't do those things. So I really appreciate her doing that. I just want to thank Bookmark Alliance. I really am so, fortunate to have you at the time because I was really stressed out about promoting my book and getting it out to the world. I really want to thank my family. Even though a lot of my family, they feel some type of way about me putting my book out and my story out. However, it was some family that was very supportive. Shout out to all you guys. You guys know who you are, and I really, really appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart because this was very challenging for me. It was a challenging experience, and I really appreciate you guys allowing me to put my truth out there and accept it for my truth. Everybody have their different perspectives about life, and I might see something red and somebody else might see something blue. But I don't say that they're a liar and they're this and they're that. I said, oh, okay, maybe it is blue to you. I don't know, but I appreciate the people that really supported me through this time because I really, really needed it. I was going through a lot of emotional distress, but it was for the good. It was to make me a better person, and I really appreciate that. I am I consider myself as an author, which is so it's just amazing to me. However, I have a lot of talent. I'm a writer. I'm a longshoreman. I have my license to barber, so I'm a licensed barber. I do a lot of things, and that comes from I feel my ancestors and being so creative and doing so many things. Um, I'm inspired to help people challenge themselves, that and you don't have to be just black. You could be coming from anywhere, have any type of struggles as well. It's not just a black thing. If you came from poverty or came from a place where it was designed and created for you to fail and you made it out, you beat the odds, you could be whoever you want to be, and that's what I want to encourage everyone to do that's been in situations like that, not just black people. I really just I love God. He has gave me so much strength and he always been with me by my side. And I feel like he taught me a lot of lessons throughout my life. I'm 29 years old, but I'm very wise. And it's because of him. He led me to a better understanding about life, about people, about myself. And, he is everything. Like he have shown me, he have led me, he have guided me. And I'm so thankful for him to give me the gift to be chosen and to, be a living testimony to other people. This was a great interview. I really appreciate you taking the time with me to ask me these questions because I needed a outlet and I needed to get it out. So I'm really appreciative of that. You guys are people that's watching. This is not the end of me. You're gonna see me flourish. You're gonna see me shine. You're gonna see me thrive. And I have it in me, and I really appreciate those who supported me and still are supporting me through my journey and through my healing process. And God bless all of you.